The T-Rex Tier 4 Beast Handler Dinosaur just got nerfed, but let's see how big of a change this is and if it's gonna make any difference. So actually, first off, let's start by buying the Beast Handler. So this is a weird map and I'm playing on Luminous Code because I have not blackboarded this one yet. So I'm gonna try to do that as well while we're testing out this Beast Handler thingy. Oh, look at this, the range is barely there. Okay, so do we buy the Microraptor or do we leave the Beast Handler like this? I am not exactly sure. I think we should probably go for the dinosaur, right? Because it's a little bit better. Let's see if we can fit it over here. I think we should because the footprint is super small. Yes, there we go. Alright, so what are the changes that happened to the T-Rex? So the T-Rex is now a little bit worse than it was. So the changes are to the tune of 4 damage lost for the T-Rex, which went from 30 to 26. And then the damage range also got reduced from 60 to 52, which I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure what they mean by this is like the AoE of attack got reduced by a little bit. So each time the T-Rex attacks is just gonna affect a smaller area now, which again is kind of significant, kind of a big deal. This early game, by the way, is gonna be super annoying. I think we should go for a Marmonkey actually. Maybe we're gonna go for something like a top 8 Marmonkey because it's cheap-ish and it's gonna slow the balloons down, but we're gonna stop at tier 4 or something like that. So let's have it like this. And so what do these changes mean? Well, I think that this is a significant change because the way that you want to think about the T-Rex is that it is a high damage tower, but it's also a low attack speed tower. So the way that these towers work is that they want to dish out the damage in just 1 or 2 attacks and they want to deal with the balloons they're supposed to deal with. So take for example a Super Ceramic which comes out in free play. So the problem with Super Ceramics is that the ceramic layer itself is super tough to get through. So if we assume for example that the T-Rex needed 3 attacks to pop 1 single Super Ceramic, with this damage increase we essentially lost 12 damage, not just 4, and that's impactful because it means that it's not going to be 3, in some cases it's going to be 4 attacks that it needs, for example, to pop a Super Ceramic. But because the tower has such low attack speed, the 4th attack might not even come. In fact, it's a question of those 3 attacks are going to come in the first place, and this is where these nerfs are actually starting to be impactful for these types of towers. So first off, how are we doing? I did not buy here. I've got Adora selected and I'm just, guys, this is just so nerve-wracking these early rounds until we can get to some more stable towers, like for example the Destroyer. Honestly, I would even feel a little bit safer by buying something like, oh wait a minute, we do have the money for Adora. Do we place her like right here on the side or something like that? I think we should. Okay, so she doesn't care about vision, so she's gonna be able to attack balloons like right here, but her placement is super bad. And actually this is a map meant for water-based towers, and I'm gonna go for the, you know, it's gonna be a while until we can actually see the T-Rex in action. I mainly wanted to test it versus these Super Ceramics that I mentioned to you guys, but before we get there I want to go for the Top Bat Buccaneer. And actually I watched an ISAP video and I want to test this myself. This is gonna be like a side quest of ours in this video, and that is to see if the carrier flagship is indeed bugged if you go for the bottom crossbat. So apparently there's this bug with the carrier flagship. If you go for the cruise nest upgrade, for some reason it's gonna give it pierce. Now this upgrade is not supposed to be giving it pierce, only this one is, but I guess for some reason somehow in the Ninja Kiri code it gives it more pierce and it just makes the planes and the boat a lot stronger. Okay, so those are the 2 main things that we're gonna be looking out for, and so I don't exactly want to be upgrading the Beast Handler too much. So the idea with the carrier flagship is that once we buy it, we're gonna have the dinosaur on top of one of the platforms, because you cannot use an ice platform to place your dinosaur, which really sucks. You can place the Beast Handler but not the small dinosaur. Actually, don't want to be upgrading the dinosaur yet. I think we're just gonna keep it like this, just like kind of market spot, and we're gonna go for the Destroyer and eventually the carrier flagship first, and then onto the platforms that we get from the carrier flagship is where we're gonna be placing our dinosaurs. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun one, and this is actually, I think I mentioned this, but this is like a black border run because I have not finished this map. Alright, so round 35, we got the Destroyer up and running. This is a really solid tower. It really makes your game a lot easier, especially if you go for the middle crossset, but we're testing the cruise nest thingy. And then I'm thinking what we want to do for the next round. So we could go for the Abyss Dweller because eventually, I think we should. Let's go for the Abyss Dweller because eventually I want to get the Abyssal Warrior as well. I really like the fact that this thing is going to be slowing some of the balloons down. It's going to be a nice combo with the T-Rex and also our carrier flagship. And actually, wait a minute, we need to get the Allosaurus right now because we don't have lead popping power on the left side. We do have on the right thanks to Adora, but we don't have on this one. So I think we're just going to stop at the Allosaurus, right? Because round 39 is coming to an end. I'm just thinking what we want to be doing. So are we rushing the aircraft carrier, or are we going to buy something else to get a little bit of extra damage versus this Moab? I don't think we're going to have an issue with the Moab, especially because the, oh wait a minute, I thought I bought this thing. Okay, let me buy the Abyssal Warrior. I thought that I already had this thing and I'm like, yeah, we got this Moab, no problem. But let's get it, and I'm going to use the Doors Valve durability just in case, just because this is a black border run, and there we go. Okay, so now let's rush the aircraft carrier. So 8.6k, but we need to be careful of one more thing, and that is going to be the camo LEDs on 59, because if you take a look at all our towers, none of these guys can pop camo LEDs, so that might surprise us. And I guess I maybe wanted an excuse to play this tower again for the 3rd time in this update. I really like this tower, guys. Maybe we're gonna get a 4th playthrough because I was thinking of black bordering actually one of these true expert maps, because I'm missing some of them and they seem to be pretty easy nowadays, I'm gonna be honest, with like the giant condor and the carrier flagship, which is just OP at this point in BT6. So maybe we're gonna go for a video like that. Anyways, aircraft carrier, we have the money, so let's buy this thing. This is gonna make the game a lot easier for us, especially when you get these small planes. And actually, a cool thing about these small planes is that even though this is like a high ground, these pools up top, the planes can just fly over them and they can start doing damage to the balloons a lot earlier. So this unlocks our damage potential by so much. It's actually crazy, especially on this map, right? By the way, you guys know if the crow's nest bug pierce works on the aircraft carrier? I know it does work on the carrier flagship, but I'm not exactly sure about the 4th tier. Does it carry over the tiers? Because that would be, actually, that would make the bottom pad, I don't know, that would be a little bit too OP, right? But let's try and see it maybe like when these planes are making their attack. If these darts make it through a lot of balloons, then I guess that we can say that. Actually, how much is the pierce buff? We don't even know exactly. Like, if it's like 1 to 2 pierce, it might not even be noticeable in the first place. Yeah, this tower is just as good as it ever was. A carrier flagship, and even if you're just sticking with the aircraft carrier, like, you don't have to worry about anything, as I have not worried about anything, well, so far that is. But when free play rolls in, we are gonna have a lot of problems, actually, especially this weird placement on the dinosaur and everything. So hopefully the platform is gonna come in handy. Actually, you know what I wanted to do for these camo LEDs? I thought of a creative solution, I think it is, but we need to buy it. Actually, now that I kind of remind myself of it, I think I want to buy it like right now, 58. So the idea is that if we go for a 240, the ability, the snowstorm ability, is going to be able to affect camo LEDs as well. And so if we only pop the camo LED layer, then the aircraft carrier and hopefully the mer monkey is going to be able to take care of the leftovers. So all these guys are out, so let's use the ability, and there we go. That was the plan for this one. Now this is actually going to be really nice because eventually it's going to work on DDTs later down the line, and also we can place towers in the water, like maybe a village or an alchemist if we needed to. So this is going to be nice for the dinosaur and for camo detection in general. Alright, how are we looking? Round 63, let's see how we're doing versus these waves of ceramics. So Abyssal Warrior does do a decent amount of damage actually, but let's see if these guys make it all the way around. They're not making it. Okay, that's really good. I mean, we do have some Adora abilities. Actually, we only have one because she's level 9. We bought her a little bit late and we haven't done any sacrifices, but oh my god, that was the second wave. It just disappeared with these tentacles. Yeah, man, when these tentacles hit, they actually do a lot of damage, right? Especially they go through like all of these ceramic layers, but sometimes things like this can happen. Oh, the blues made all the way around. That might have gone a little bit interesting, but thankfully we have the ice ability. No need to use it yet, so might as well buy the carrier flagship right now. And this was actually the part of the entire plan. I wanted to get the aircraft carrier because, well, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get the dinosaur right over here on this platform. Oh, it's actually, it doesn't exactly reach the bottom part of the track. Okay, let's actually get some upgrades into this thing. So Velociraptor should improve its range by a little bit. Yeah, it did, but I don't think it's still enough. I think we need the T-Rex, and then after we get the T-Rex, like, I don't know, guys, like, maybe we need to, does merging help? Does buying a village help? I'm not exactly sure. Let's actually buy a village and see if it works. So let's say the range of the T-Rex is about this, at about this point, and if I buy a village, make sure we have the beast hunter in it. Does it improve the range? I think it does by a very small amount because it's a percentage increase, right? So I guess we'll take everything. We're gonna need the village anyways for the attack speed buff, so might as well get it, right? Alright, so we've got some carrier flagship action, and these guys, especially with the bug, with the pierce bug, and especially because the Abyssal Warrior is giving, I think it was 15% pierce extra to the carrier flagship. So these two, the bug carrier flagship plus the Abyssal Warrior, they're actually a really, really strong combo. So I don't expect any trouble in the upcoming rounds. I am gonna buy the T-Rex right now, which is gonna get even bigger. Okay, now this is what we're talking about. There we go. And we also get a lot of abilities to work with, which is really nice. It's always really nice to get this thing, but we do have a lot of upgrades to go through as well, because we need to go for the middle crosspath so that the carrier flagship can pop DDTs. Actually, fun fact, the smaller rockets, these guys that get launched onto mob class balloons, even though they're explosions, they can still pop lead balloons, but the main attack cannot. And actually, if you're playing BT6, I guess for a couple of years now, you guys are probably gonna know that this guy, the carrier flagship, had hidden lead popping powers. So these plane attacks, these darts, they at one point in BT6 they were able to pop lead balloons. So it was actually really good versus DDTs at that time. But it doesn't matter because nowadays they somehow made it even more powerful, I guess. So yeah, this is just like such a nice tower overall. And I'm just thinking, are we merging up the T-Rex or are we keeping it like this? Yep, I think we should merge it. Okay, so we are racking up a little bit of cash, so let's make sure we use the cash for good causes. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's buy another T-Rex. Actually, wait a minute. I think the best merges are the lower tiers, right? I kind of forgot about that. Oh, maybe it would have been nice if we bought these guys in a discount village, but you know what? I think we can afford it. I know this is our black border run, but I think that we can afford it. Let's actually do one or merge, so let's go like this. And I think 48 out of 64 should be good enough. Like, this guy's damage is still really strong, and especially with the ability, you know, there's a cool little thingy. This works like this only on the T-Rex and no other tower, and it's that when you keep merging it, the stronger it becomes, the cooldown on its stomp becomes lower, which is a really interesting one. And actually, I think the AoE eventually becomes bigger, so once you max merge it, I think it's global, or was it global on the Gigantosaurus? I kind of forget. But that cooldown reduction thingy by itself is really cool. But I think we're having another issue, and that is the fact that this Kira Flagship is not ready. It's not letting the T-Rex attack a little bit. So let me get the MIB just so that we make sure that this guy can pop the DDTs, and maybe we can go for something like the Call to Arms plus a little bit of extra support. So I think it would be really nice if we can fit like a glue here on the sides. Is the T-Rex gonna get to attack, by the way? 5k pops onto this thing. Oh my god. Please just get some attacks in. Wait a minute. The glue rat is amphibious? I didn't know that. Look at this guy. He's walking on water. Problem that we had a little while ago is still persisting. Oh, there we go. We get some T-Rex action. This bugged Curio Flagship, I can confirm, this is way too strong, right? This shouldn't be happening. It's around 89, and these balloons have not made it next to the T-Rex, especially when they're coming from the right side. Okay, there we go. We get some action, so let's see it versus these. It's really nice because they have fortified ceramics, and it seems to be eating them up. So I thought that like it might not have been one-shotting them, but it was clearly dealing with them no problem. But let's, oh my god, how do I turn off the Curio Flagship, guys? Alright, well, this video took a little bit different turn where the Curio Flagship is just winning by itself. Alright, this thing is bugged out of its mind, guys. This thing is bugged out of its mind. This is not okay. Like, this tower shouldn't be doing this much damage. I think, oh, there we go. We get some T-Rex action. Okay, 20k pops. There we go. Hey, guys, this is gonna be like an accidental 2 mega pops or something like that. I did not want to do this. I wanted to check out the T-Rex onto the Curio Flagship platform, but this Curio Flagship had other plans for this video, guys. Let me check Adora's pops. 15k. Yeah, they're not even letting Adora do anything. And by the way, Adora doesn't even care about obstacles, so she can attack anywhere in her range. Yeah, and she doesn't even have that many pops. Yeah, this tower is just bugged out of its mind. But oh, wait a minute, we're gonna get some action on the T-Rex actually. So when these guys come closer, I think it should be. I'm waiting a little bit too much, or am I? I don't know. Like, maybe we use the ability now, just get some action, I guess, on these balloons in the range. So the fact that these balloons made it all the way around is encouraging, because that means that the Curio Flagship is not, well, almighty. It's not all that strong. So that means the T-Rex is gonna see some action, and that also means that we are. This is on. We are gonna get to see the T-Rex. So let me get an NG, and then what else do we want to do? Like maybe like a Sabo or something like that. This is around 95, by the way. We do have the ability. The Adora abilities are not gonna do anything, but we do have. Wait, let me just overclock the T-Rex. Let's get some action going. Oh yes, there we go. Look at this guy attack. Okay, let's use the stun ability. Just keep all these guys in place. That AoE is insane. Look at this. The guys up top got stunned. You can extend the stun duration, by the way, by merging this guy, and so far so good. Around 95. All right. So the Curio Flagship actually is doing a lot of damage, but we needed to wait a little bit for these balloons to start leaking so that we can actually see the T-Rex in action. There we go. 75k pops. Yeah, this thing is getting some damage done now. All right, so ZOMGs, this is the big problem for us. So the Curio Flagship does struggle a little bit to pop these guys. So I'm gonna overclock the T-Rex, and I think it's time for us to use the stun ability right now. So keep these guys in place, get the damage flowing, and yes, we are gonna pop these guys, but they are making it around. Let me also get the Call to Arms. We're gonna have another ability to work with, which I absolutely love, and let's get some damage onto these ZOMGs. So how is this T-Rex doing? Guys, I'm gonna be honest, we are missing a little bit of damage with it, but I just can't tell, and I feel like it's a little bit due to the Curio Flagship, but it's also the fact that once you merge this guy up, the damage is just so much that I don't think that small nerf is gonna matter in Chimps mode, at least. If it's not merged, if it's like the normal T-Rex, like 16 out of 64 power, then maybe, I guess you would be able to feel it, but we're at 48 out of 64, and I don't think that this is like that significant of a nerf. Let me just overclock this guy. We do have a lot of abilities to work with, so we're gonna need to use some of them right now, but we also need to save some for the 45 DTs later on. Okay, so let's, oh, I see some ceramics leaking actually, so let's use the stun ability, keep all of these. Look at that stun range, by the way. It's keeping all these guys on the right side as well. Is this enough? I think it might be. Yeah, the dinosaur is going to town onto these guys. Yeah, look at the front. Yes, there we go. Very good. This is what I like to see. I'm being ready with the ice ability, so as soon as these guys make it onto the other side, I will freeze them. But yeah, this is the round to look out for. ZOMGs are gone. We're gonna have the T-Rex ability again in a second, but if we don't have to use it, that's gonna be awesome. The overclock is still ongoing, and yes, we take down 98, which is really important. Let me check the pops, by the way. This guy, okay, this is like 200k pops. Okay, so this guy is actually doing some work. Although the Curio Flagship is at 1.5 million, but yeah, the T-Rex is actually helping. Okay, so let's overclock, and then, oh, we need to do something about this one. Okay, so let's stun, keep all the DTs in place, and then we're gonna have the ice ability. So on their way back, we might need to, oh, never mind, we don't need to freeze them. And for the the bad balloon, how are we gonna be doing? I'm just gonna buy Spike Storm just because this is a black border run, but let's just kind of see how much damage we're doing with our R towers. So Care Flagship is probably, well, it's doing a lot of damage for sure, but the Pierce buff, or I should say the Pierce bug is not gonna be doing anything. So let's overclock this guy, the T-Rex. Let's just use all our abilities. Let's just dump all the damage right now. I'm gonna use the Doorless level 10 ability as well, by the way, and we need to freeze the deities as soon as they appear. So let's freeze them right now. They instantly popped. Level 3 Adore ability, and then as soon as these UMGs pop, I am going to stun them, stun the PvPs, keep them in range, and that is gonna be it. Alright, so we do get the black border. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest, this Cure Flagship thingy just kind of overtook this entire video, and I did not plan on this, but this tower, apparently when you get it with the crow's nest, is bugged, and I think it actually might be true, guys. This thing is bugged because it's got like 1.6 million pops. This merged T-Rex though, I feel like it is not much changing. You're not gonna feel the difference of the reduction of power because it is merged, but if it's not merged, I guess there is gonna be a little bit of change versus Super Ceramics, but nothing too significant, I don't think. So yeah, it should be fine. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.